Hey there minions, this is Hubis with a guide for Jacks in the jungle. Jungle Jacks. Enjoy. Mastery page. For masteries, I recommend going for the 9-21-0 build, because when playing in the jungle I recommend going for more of a tank build instead of a carry build. Rune page. And as for runes, I recommend going for attack damage marks, magic resistance per level glyphs, armor seals, and ability power quintessences. As for the quintessences, I saw this idea on a guide I found, and at first I was really skeptical, but then I tried it and I was like, okay. And now I use them all the times. They actually help you quite a lot since 3 of your abilities benefit from ability power. Plus it gives you some magic resistance when using your ultimate. Gameplay. As Jacks you can start at either red or blue buff, it doesn't really matter. So before you start the game, just pick a lane that you wanna gank early and start on the opposite side of the map so that you would have both buffs when you gank it. And this is a great example of a failed gank. You can see here that I come to gank Elise when she's near her turret, and Singe doesn't even have fling. Perfect. Okay, that was the shit example, we'll try again. This game I wanted to gank bottom lane first, so I started at blue, proceeded through all of the camps so that I would get to level 4, and then I went for a lane gank since I knew that the river was warded.
Get ready for the big surprise.
Surprise!
Usually when the enemy sees Jacks coming in for a gank, they will instantly burn their escapes or even flash, since nobody wants to get up close in person with Jacks. When you're fighting more than one champion in a lane, I usually wouldn't suggest going back after just one kill. Since Jax is an exceptionally strong duelist, you can usually outmatch the other champion or champions if you have double buff. Good fight, noobs! Now if you feel like ganking the enemy jungler first, I suggest starting at the red buff and proceeding to the enemy jungle. After getting the red buff, you should grab Leap Strike so that you would negate the enemy chances of escaping with flash. Then simply hide in the brush and wait until the enemy champion gets low enough for you to attack. And if the enemy jungler starts coming to your brush, simply walk back a little bit and try to estimate when you have to go in. I wouldn't recommend going in with Leap Strike at first. You should simply come up to the enemy champion and start attacking him, and only use Leap Strike whenever he flashes or just gets away a little bit too far. You should only do this if you know where the enemy jungler starts. Unlike me, I just lucked out here. Ganking as Jax is quite simple. You just have to pick a path to be able to get close enough to the enemy champion so that you could leap to him, and use Counter Strike a little bit earlier so that you would instantly stun him after you leap. Although it's always a lot better if you can approach the enemy champion without using Leap Strike. That way you would still be able to catch up to your target even if they use something to escape like flash. Okay, Singe, I am coming for a gank, we will have to work together. Perfect fling, I cannot stun now, but it's okay, I will try to kill her. You just rest there and leave her to me. We will see what happens now, I am coming towards the brush and... Good, perfection. Great teamwork, Singe. After hitting level 6, Jax's damage towards single targets increases dramatically, and that is why Jax is great for taking down objectives like turrets, dragons and baron. Keep in mind that while taking dragon or baron, it is best to have someone else tank it, because both dragon and baron have a debuff that decreases attack speed or overall damage of the champion that is tanking it. And if you want to maximize the damage towards one of those targets, it is best to try and avoid those debuffs. And as for teamfights, you should stick to one of the enemy team's carries until you zone them out or until you manage to kill them. Then switch targets. And since you have some tank items and a great gap closer, it will be very difficult for the enemy team to peel you off. Or you can play full retard like me and just go for their support and jungler first. One last clip and I'll try to wrap up this video. After you buy Iceborne Gauntlet, you can start peeling for your carries yourself if needed. Just try to apply the Gauntlet's debuff as often as possible. Summarize? And to summarize, I recommend starting out with the Hunter's Machete and 5 health potions. A pretty standard jungler start. First time you go back, I recommend buying a Spirit Stone, Boots of Speed, and if you have some extra cash, a Sight Ward and a few health potions. After that, I recommend rushing Spirit of the Ancient Golem, upgrade your boots to either Ninja Tabby or Boots of Mobility, usually I go for Boots of Mobility, and then buy Blade of the Rune King and Iceborne Gauntlet. This will be your core build in almost every single game. Then I would usually go for a Warmox, and to finish the build I recommend choosing from either Spirit Visage, Guardian's Angel or Random Enzoman, according to the enemy champions. This build is mainly focused on defense, although with the Blade of the Rune King and Iceborne Gauntlet still gives you enough damage to still be considered a threat. And as for summoner spells, I recommend going for Ghost. Unless you really dislike Ghost, then you should go for Flash, and of course since you're jungling you must go Smite. And for skills I recommend grabbing Counter Strike at level 1 since it helps you out immensely, and max it out last because it doesn't benefit you as much as your other abilities. Unless you're invading or going for a very early gank, you should grab Empower at level 2 and max it out right away because it gives you the most damage. You should grab Leap Strike at level 3 if you're gonna go for a gank, or at level 4 if you're gonna clear your jungle first, and max it out second to lower its cooldowns and increase its damage. And you should grab your ultimate whenever you can because it helps you out immensely when clearing your jungle, and of course it gives you insane damage. All in all, I think Jax is a very fun champion to play in the jungle, although I would still prefer to play him in the top lane more, since there are a lot of better junglers than him in the League of Legends anyway. Alright guys, that's gonna do it. Click the top left corner to choose another Jax guide, and if you like this video, click thumbs up, and if you wanna see more videos like this, click subscribe. Hubis out!